What's up guys, my name is Robin and welcome to the final E3 review on my channel, RobzarrGoesRawr. Now, before I get into talking about Microsoft, I'm just going to say basically what I said in the last video about Nintendo. I'm not doing a review on them this year because I started watching about halfway through and it was just Legend of Zelda gameplay and it wasn't anything overly interesting. So I'm not going to do anything with them this year, which, you know, fine with me. It's one less thing I've got to do, but a bit disappointed about their kind of treehouse thing, but oh well. Anyway, Microsoft. I can't say I'm any more impressed with Microsoft than I am with Nintendo this year, actually. They had some good stuff, but compared to Sony, it was just dull in comparison. Like, the whole atmosphere. The problem with Xbox was, and Microsoft, their presentation was that a lot of the stuff that they have, a lot of the games they announced, had already been seen in other conferences. So, a lot of the games I'm about to talk to you about, you already know about from previous videos if you've watched them. So, anyway, let's just get straight into it. They have announced some hardware in the form of the Xbox One S. Now, this is obviously the Xbox One Slim. Supports 4K video, and it is tiny. I think I remember them saying it was about 40% smaller, which makes it smaller than the PS4. And to be honest, fair play to them, because the Xbox One, the original one, was just a box and it was bloody huge. So I'm not surprised they've scaled down. I'm glad they've taken the opportunity for the scaled down version to put 4K into it. So, you know, that's a good thing. That's due to come out end of this year, I think. The first one will be out end of this year. Probably in America first, but there you go. That's the Xbox One S. Gears of War 4, which is probably one of the only games that they announced that we hadn't already seen. So that's the Xbox exclusive. It looks good. They had one of the cast members do a live demo with someone else. I can't remember who the other guy was, but they played a live demo, and it's about saving one of the main characters' mums, and it looks okay. It wasn't anything mind blowing, and you can get a Gears of War customized controller as well if you want. I expect they come as a pack if you buy like a special edition or something. They didn't say anything about that. That's just probably what it's going to be. But yeah, Gears of War 4. There wasn't any kind of date, so don't know when it will be out, but you know. And then they did announce a thing that I am actually quite impressed with. Now, this is probably one of the only things that I was impressed with during this whole conference, and that is Xbox Play Anywhere. Now, for those of you who don't know, Xbox Live is on basically every single device apart from a PlayStation or a Nintendo Wii or Wii U or whatever. Nintendo Live, Xbox Live is on phones, tablets, PC, and obviously on Xbox. So Play Anywhere means that you buy one copy of the game. So say Gears of War 4, you buy one copy of the game, and that copy automatically translates to your Xbox and your Windows 10 only. It has to be Windows 10, but Windows 10 only PC. It supports crossplay, so people on PC can play with people on Xbox Ones, and your game data is saved and your trophies are saved and everything is saved, so you can literally go from one thing to another and just pick up where you left off, which I think is really great. It's something that I feel like Sony won't ever be able to do because they haven't got any kind of jump in the kind of computer industry as far as operating systems go. So it'd be really strange playing Xbox Live on crossplay on a Sony laptop. I can't ever imagine doing that. I think that would be like witchcraft or something. But yeah, that was really cool, and it's something that I think needs to be taken more seriously, this whole crossplay stuff. So a lot of games are coming out like that. Forza Horizon 3 is due September 27th this year. It looks like, for a car game, it didn't look too bad. You know, it's just a car game, doesn't really interest me. There was some new kind of car stuff. and car things. Didn't really interest me all that much. I want to just say I'm not putting a downer on Microsoft's presentation because I'm more of a PlayStation fan. I give them a fair shout each year, both of them, and you know, every year Sony just kind of up them, but normally Microsoft have still got some really, like, as far as games go, good stuff to show, but this year it just wasn't there. So I'm not purposely putting a downer on Microsoft's presentation, it's just they did not do well at all, in my opinion. And the next 3 games will be a hint of why that is, because we had Final Fantasy 15, which is due out September 30th, the Tom Clancy Diversion DLC, which we already know about, the Underground and Survival DLCs, and Battlefield 1. I'm not going to talk about either of these 3 games because I've already talked to them. I don't talk to games in my spare time. I've already talked about them in detail in other videos. So, you know, they didn't, like, that's just 3 games, 3 big games that we already know about. So I'm not going to talk to them. I can't talk to games. I don't know why I keep saying that. I'm not going to talk about them in detail because we already know they're happening. And if you want to know what my opinions are, then just hop on over to the Ubisoft and PlayStation ones. And to be honest, the PlayStation, as far as Final Fantasy goes, the PlayStation 1 wins hands down because they've got virtual reality coming out for it. So, you know, Xbox Live's getting some updates. The Cortana tool that is on PC is being taken over to Xbox One, so that's all good. And then you can get clubs and arenas and things like that. So you can kind of like go into like certain areas of like the multiplayer world and just communicate with people that are in the same club as you, and like sign up for like arena matches and stuff like that. Pretty basic stuff. Minecraft Realms is coming to all platforms. They did show some Minecraft stuff. Again, wasn't really anything groundbreaking. After it baffled me a little bit that they showed Minecraft at all, considering they didn't really have much to show other than the fact that Realms is being put on all platforms and being made crossplay. It baffled me that they showed it. After they showed the Minecraft holo glasses that year, I think it was a couple of years ago, they didn't really have much to show as far as anything new on that front is concerned, so I'm surprised they showed anything at all, really. Customizable controllers, you can design your own controller colours, not anything fancy, no pictures or anything like that, just colours, and you can put a name on the front of it, probably your Xbox gamer tag or whatever, so that's cool, I guess. Then they showed a cool little indie game which actually did pique my interest, called Inside, which is by the creators of Limbo. For those of you who don't know, Limbo, it's one of the first games I ever played on the channel back when it was Gamer Nation, and it's a little indie game in black and white, and you're on this, it's like a puzzle horror game, and you're on a trial to kind of save your sister from these monsters, and you've got to take spiders' legs apart and get these kind of brainwashy things out your head so you can walk in different, weird game, but really good concept, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the development team behind that come out with as far as Inside goes and where they're going to take their talents next. So that was really cool. And then we saw some idea Xbox stuff, nothing overly big in there, apart from Outlast 2, which I am really excited about Outlast 2. But again, it's something that I'm probably going to play on my PlayStation, so Outlast 2 is looking really good. The demo's been released to a few YouTubers, I think, so I've seen the demo, and it looks terrifying, and it looks completely brand new compared to what the first Outlast was like, so that's really exciting. That comes out later this year, I think probably around Halloween time. We Happy Few. Now, I played We Happy Few on PC. I think it was probably a demo of some kind, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. So this game version they're bringing out is obviously the bigger version of it, like the full game, and it looks weird and scary and happy and bizarre and joyful and creepy as hell, and Again, I don't know if that's something I will play on an Xbox, because I don't have an Xbox One, but yeah, that was good. It looks good. That's something I am actually interested in playing. Then we had Gwent, the Witcher card game. For those of you who haven't played The Witcher 3, don't. It's not a great game. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all, actually. I know it's probably, like, I can appreciate the fact that, like, for some people it's probably a fantastic game, but it was, like, considering I normally like those kinds of games, I did not get on well with Witcher, and it was, yeah, but Gwent is a game that you can play within the game, and now this is just kind of like a more full-on game version of Gwent, so, good times. Tekken 7, same as any other Tekken, but with a 7 slapped in front of it. Dead Rising 4 looked good. Some new mechanics in that. So that looks really cool. Sea of Thieves was being played. I don't know if it was being played live right there and then, but we saw some gameplay of people that were playing it in teams, and it's basically like a an online multiplayer sea cartoon style game, and actually looked really good fun, so that might be something to look into playing. Halo Wars 2, I don't play Halo, I don't have any interest in Halo, so that was there, but you know, normally if they do something to do with Halo, I still, hang on a minute, Penny's trying to eat one of my leads. Penny! 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 Trying to eat my speaker leads. Stop being dumb. Stop being a dum-dum. No, she's still being a dum-dum anyway. Yeah, I normally, if they have something to do with Halo at E3, it's normally something quite extravagant, and I normally do still enjoy seeing what Halo has got next for the players of Xbox, but this year it just seemed like they kind of glazed over a little bit, so I don't know what that was about. And then we came to the end of it, and it was the Project Scorpion console, which is due December of next year, and basically it is like in the same way that Sony are bringing out the Neo, it's something that it's just going to be a more powerful version of the Xbox One, and the really great thing about it is, and I'm going to say this is really great because it is, and I hope Sony takes something from this and actually do the same, is that all the accessories and games and hardware and save files and trophies and everything will be accessible on both the Xbox One and the Project Scorpion console, so they're completely compatible as far as crossing over consoles is concerned. So that's good, but that was it. You know, the Project Scorpion console is going to be just a much more powerful than the PS4. I've heard rumour that it's going to be more powerful than the Neo, but Sony don't seem, from what I've heard about Sony's reaction to that, they don't seem too concerned, so they've got something up their sleeve as far as the Neo is concerned. But again, that's supposed to have been rumoured to come out this year. I don't think it will. So, yeah, that was basically Microsoft. There was no Call of Duty, which baffled me. There was no FIFA, which baffled me. And both of them games I was really impressed with this year, so I was looking forward to seeing more out of them from the publishers that they were born on, really, especially Call of Duty. And there was nothing about either of them. It was a really disappointing press conference, actually, I'm not going to lie, it was really disappointing. Not just in the way it was presented, because, you know, whatever, you present a game one way, then fine. But the content they had and the pace that it went at was just... After watching Sony's, I probably would have enjoyed it more had I not watched Sony's first, because that was like, that set the bar as far as high expectations go. But yeah, it was a little bit disappointing. Very disappointing, actually. Anyway, if you haven't watched this press conference and you want to, then just head on over to GameSpot or IGN or the E3 website. They're all there. They're all available to watch now. Let me know what you think about everything I've said in this video in the comments below. Let me know what you think about all the games that are coming out from Microsoft in the comments below as well. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope you've enjoyed my last 2 days of E3 reviews. It's been really fun to do, and I'm really excited to see all the new content that's coming out from all the developers and publishers, and I'm super excited to see everything that Sony has got coming out of the bag over the next year. It's going to be some amazing stuff. So that's going to be it from me for this video. Make sure you keep an eye out for the rest of the videos that are coming out this week. Gameplay videos will be back as usual tomorrow, and until the next time you hear from me, guys, as always, stay classy, gamers.